Happy New Year, everyone. We are so excited for this new year to finally be underway, and we hope you guys feel the same. As one of the first videos of the year, we wanted to kick things off with a list of things and reasons why we love living in Bend here in 2024. Number one, mountain views. It's not too cliche, right? The mountain views here are just like, I mean, there are not too many places in the world where stunning mountain views greet you every single day. What else do I even need to say? I mean, you've got Mount Bachelor, Three Sisters Mountains, Broken Top, you got Mount Jefferson, and even Mount Hood, like on a really clear day. I think one of the best pick-me-ups is when like you leave the house in the morning to go to work and you kind of hit that stop sign, you take a look, and those beautiful snow-capped mountains are just staring at you right in the face. It's gonna be a good day. So even people who visit here, they think it's really cool. But just imagine living here. It never gets old, I promise. Number two, rivers. Speaking of scenic views, the rivers are also incredible. For starters, we have the Deschutes River, which is the main river. It's the iconic river here in Central Oregon. But there are plenty of other rivers as well. You've got the Fall River, the Metolius River, the Crooked River, the Little Deschutes. They're just all beautiful places to go and take a walk, or take a hike, or fish, or camp beside, or just stand there and admire the scenery. And what I find most interesting is that like each river has its own kind of personality. So the Crooked River is vastly different than the Metolius, right? And then even, the Deschutes River itself is vastly different depending on where you are geographically. It's a lot more deserty the far more north you go. It's a lot more forested the more south you go. All in all, the rivers around here provide some fantastic scenic scenery. Number three, the weather. Sure, warm weather all the time is great, but if you're like me, you also kind of have a healthy respect or fondness for fall and winter, like snow, right? My point here is that we have 4 full seasons here in Central Oregon. Now, spring can be wet and cold, and that's kind of annoying to me sometimes, but summers are incredible. Warm, bordering on pretty hot, with almost no rain at all. Fall is beautiful with the leaves and the colors everywhere. And then winter actually gives you those opportunities for, that classic white Christmas. And then sometimes we really get hit with snow, and that's also pretty fun too. I mean, really hit with snow. But most of the time we don't. Most of the time it falls just enough to make things look pretty. Just be careful when you're driving. 4, size of community. Bend is a city, but it feels like a town if you're from a big city. You can get from one side to the other in just like 15 minutes, which if you're from like a normal city, it takes 15 minutes to just simply get to the grocery store. And speaking of grocery stores, you will regularly run into people that you know at the grocery store here. That's just how small, okay, it's not small. People get upset when I say it's a small town. That's just how optimally sized, it's an optimal size. It's just how optimally sized Bend is. It's not near any other major metropolitan area. It's just us, geographically isolated. There just isn't this vastness of anonymity, which means people are nicer here. Really, you can't be a jerk in Bend because we'll straight run you out of here. It just has a really comforting small town vibe everywhere you go. Number 5, proximity to nature. We know it's a recreational outdoor mecca here, but it's oftentimes really hard to understand that you really can just drive 5 minutes out of town and be in the national forest, away from everything. The immense amount of forest and public land is just right there. The rivers are everywhere. The mountains are 20 to 30 minutes away. If you love nature, it's just all right here. A short drive, or in some cases a short bike ride from your house into the wild. Time out. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about everything Bend and Central Oregon related, from recreation to real estate. So if that's something that interests you, we highly suggest that you go ahead and subscribe to our channel, hit the little bell notification. And if you are interested in the real estate side of it, you can go to our website at krommrealestate.com, where you can have full unobstructed access to the local MLS market to poke around and see if anything interests you. We hope you check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and we're gonna get on with the rest of this video. Number 6, fishing. Yeah, fishing's my jam, okay? And if you caught on earlier, you know that there's a bunch of rivers around here. All of them are incredible trout fisheries, including access to some stretches of water that also hold salmon and steelhead at, certain times of the year. Then we haven't even talked about lakes. So if fishing is your thing, like it is my thing, there's no shortage of opportunities in the area. Even right in some of the busiest parts of town, right in town, you can just walk right down to the bank and pull out fish. It's silly. Number 7, summer. Summer gets its own reason why we love living in Bend. The summers here are magical. The amount of things that you can do, both in town and just outside of town in the great outdoors, is insane. The weather, the concerts. Listen, Bend summers are the best in the world. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Number 8, winters. Winters are pretty great too, especially if you're one of those winter sports enthusiasts. Now, I love snow as much as anyone, but what a lot of people here really enjoy about winter is Mount Bachelor. When there's an amazing powder day on the hill, it's almost like a holiday. Everyone just kinda, sorry, I'm going to the mountain. In fact, there are even numerous businesses that I've heard even give a certain amount of mountain days off. I remember when I was going to school here on a great powder day, professors would just put a note on the door that said, sorry, class is canceled, going to the mountain. Okay. Number 9, hockey. I like winter sports, but I'm not the mountain guy, I'm the ice guy. We are a hockey family. We play, we coach, we help run hockey organizations. We spend a lot of time at the ice rink during the winter. That's kind of our wintertime activity. That's one of the reasons why we really love winter, is because that's when the ice comes out, and which is why it's one of our favorite times of the year. Number 10, the community. I mentioned it before, but the community here in Bend is pretty incredible. First of all, almost everyone's nice, which can almost be strange if you're from a major city, if you're moving here from one of the big cities, right? We actually hear that from clients all the time. They're like, yeah, no, we love it here so far. It's strange. Everyone's so nice. I'm like, well, yeah, duh. You live in Bend. In fact, there's even a bumper sticker. It says, be nice. You're in Bend. Get a little perspective, right? But aside from that, the community is also super supportive. We support local businesses. We support local events. We support local charities. There are actually a ton of super unique events that are hosted here in Bend every year that people come out and support all the time. And, why not, right? So understand that it's a really great community here. Number 11, the forest. I mentioned the mountains, I mentioned the rivers, and I mentioned the proximity to nature, but also the forest itself is pretty incredible here. Huge ponderosa pine trees towering over, creating a beautiful canopy of shade. There are actually a number of different forests here in the Central Oregon area. There's the Deschutes National Forest, the Ochiko National Forest, the Mount Washington Wilderness Area, the Three Sisters Wilderness Area, the Jefferson Wilderness Area, and the Oregon Badlands Wilderness Area. But even in town, we have enough trees to kind of create that magical feeling like you're deep in the woods. Number 12, location. Regionally. Okay. But John, there are a lot of mountain towns spread out across the West that have a lot of these same amenities, right? What makes Bend better? Can you get to the ocean in 2.5 hours? Bend is just in the best geographical location. The best of all worlds. Close to the desert to the east, close to the forest and the mountains to the west, close to the valley, close to the ocean. It's all within reach. I don't know about you, but I have to take at least one trip per year to go see the coast, to go watch the whales, to get a little perspective. And that's just something that you can't do from Colorado or Montana or Northern Idaho. It's too far of a trek. That's why I think that Bend is in the perfect geographical location. 13, parks. Bend has one of the most incredible Parks and Rec departments in the nation. Almost anywhere you live, in any neighborhood in Bend proper, you can walk to a park. And some of these parks, they have no equal. Incredible parks with tens of acres of fields and nature and just wow. The trails along the river and the canals are all throughout town. Not only that, but the facilities include multiple swimming centers, incredible nature preserves, ice skating rinks, senior centers. It's hard to describe. Our Parks and Recreation department offers it to the max. Number 14, desert. I talked about the forest, but the other side of that, the yin to the yang, is the desert. A little lower on my list, but still definitely one of my favorite parts about living here. Probably because I spent years fly fishing out in the desert, but there's just something about the West that screams desert to me. You know, maybe it's all the old Westerns and it's John Wayne and the sagebrush and the juniper trees and the canyons, and I love the desert. And what's really great, like I've already mentioned, is it's just to the east. Right there. Forest to the west, desert to the east. It's the best of both worlds. Number 15, hiking. How is hiking last on the list? Well, that's just how many other cool things there are to do here. Bend is such a target-rich environment that sometimes you have to make choices and sacrifices to determine which kind of recreational activities you want to really take part in. Because there's not enough time in a day or a year to get to all of it. I know plenty of retired folks who can't get to everything. And I mean, they're like young retired. They still can't get to all of the crazy activities you can do here in Central Oregon. Anyway, hiking here is obviously incredible because of everything else that we've talked about. Okay, so check this out. Those are just the reasons why we love living in Central Oregon and in Bend. There are countless, really like countless other reasons why people love living here. One of my friends once told me that Bend is like Disney World, but for adults. Now, I don't know about that because I'm an adult and I'll still go to Disney World. I love that. All the fun of just about every single recreational activity that you could possibly want to do, all wrapped up within a nice, quaint, small little town. City, excuse me. So there you have it. Thanks so much for sticking with us. You got to the end. Remember, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell here in the Central Oregon area, my team and I would love to be your local real estate resource of choice. We understand you have options. We would love to be the first one. Feel free to stalk us down below in the description for our contact information, or you can simply go to krommrealestate.com where you can find us there. It's pretty simple. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you over in the next video. By the way, be sure to check out all our other social media pages. We'd love to see you on Instagram. We'd love to connect there, but we're there on Facebook, all that stuff. Thanks so much. See you next week.